Al Sharpton's partner in shakedown and race baiting. His name is Sanford Rubenstein, right? He's a guy's a high-priced lawyer, and he defended Abner Louima going back, it's 25 years ago now. He defended Amadou Diallo's family, Sean Bell, and now he's with Sharpton on the Eric Garner killing out there in Staten Island, right? So here's the deal. Al Sharpton had a party Thursday night. And I don't know if you're familiar with Al Smith. You know, the Al Smith dinner is a tradition here in New York that when the Mac Daddy was running for president back in 2008, well, actually, no, after he became the illegal president, back in, I don't know, 2009 maybe, he and the fist bumper spoke at the Al Smith dinner. It's a very prestigious dinner. It's held at the Waldorf Astoria. You know, all New York politicians go to that. You know, Al Smith was this tremendous individual in New York politics. And, you know, he ran for president. He didn't win. But at any rate, Sharpton scheduled his birthday bash on the same day that the Al Smith dinner was going on. Maybe it's because they never invited him to the Al Smith dinner. And maybe because the guy's name is Al. You got Al Smith, Al Sharpton, both names start with S. I don't know. Their last name start with S. I don't know but the deal is this, is that after the party that Sanford Rubenstein took one of Al Sharpton's handmaids home with him to his 61st Street East Side apartment over there in the high rent district, right? And the woman says that that Rubenstein raped her. Now she's 42 years old, and he said that you know, he whatever he did, she said that he put something in her drink, and she passed out. Now this is the New York Daily News article, which is a very popular newspaper leaning. It's conservative leaning, but it ain't. Trust me, they'll print anything that'll make money for them. I can tell you that right now. But the New York Post is slamming Sanford Rubenstein today, and they posted up an article saying that police have found potentially incriminating evidence in Sandy Rubenstein's swanky apartment, a sex toy. I don't know what that was. That's not in the article. When they say sex toy, I'm wondering what they're talking about. And investigators are checking whether the device was used to brutally violate the woman who has accused a civil rights lawyer of rape. The shocking development came as Rubenstein was spotted out at the Hamptons dressed in jogging gear with his silvery mane disheveled and looking, silvery mane, that's his hair. He's got a long string of hair on his head. And looking nothing like the media savvy operator in a $1,000 suit. That is his usual public image. Let me just correct y'all on something here. Rubenstein would not be caught dead in a $1,000 suit. That's the kind of stuff you find at Men's Warehouse or at Joseph A. Bank. This guy wears $7,000 and $8,000 suits, and we all know it, if not more. At any rate, Rubenstein was asked, he says, I will not comment on any aspect of the investigation or the alleged facts reported in the press, even those I know to be patently false. Ever use that word patently on anything? Patently false. Lawyers like to use that. Politicians, it's a politician's word. It's a made up word. Patently false. Anyway, a short time later, Rubenstein was seen leaving his Hamptons pad in his usual getup, an expensive cream-colored suit. Rubenstein, who's 70 years old, by the way, split from the city Monday after police were searching his Upper East Side penthouse for potentially incriminating evidence. Now, his 42-year-old accuser says she awakened from a drunken stupor to find the lawyer assaulting her, and investigators were checking her claims that Rubenstein penetrated her with an object of some sort. Anyway, cops are now checking the device to see if the woman's DNA is on it. And so as I said, she was bleeding when a rape kit was administered at the hospital. This is sometime afterward. The news is not identifying the woman who is a business executive and high-ranking official in the Al Sharpton Shakedown National Action Network organization. Well, the shakedown was not there, but I put it in. Her face was covered by dark clothing, and the mom was spotted Tuesday with Keith White, one of her lawyers, and declined to say anything about the explosive case. So it appears here that, now this is just one article, and there's another article that posted up, says the cop sees sex toy in rape probe of Sharpton's lawyer. And they said the cops seized a, y'all mind me reporting this? The kids are not home, are they? They didn't come home from school yet? All right, so you and I, we can talk because we're grown-ups. Anyway, it's about Sharpton and about the people he hang out with. That's why we're reporting this. So here, the woman is 42 years old. The Post article says that Rubenstein is a relentless playboy, that he loves to attract young women, and he's always seen with young women coming and going in his apartment. He rides around in a stretch limo. He takes them out for rides. This is what the Post newspaper in New York reported. And that, he's got them coming and going all day and all night. And that, and some of the young women he's got coming with him are the seedy types going in and out of his apartment. This guy's 70 years old, I guess he's got a contact with Viagra or something, something's going on. And then the Daily News is reporting that some sex toys, I thought that was an oxymoron, a sex toy. It's a toy. Were found in his apartment. I think that what happened, and I'm trying to determine exactly what went on this, and it's Al Sharpton that we really want to look at, because what Al Sharpton's going to have to do is going to have to decide whether he's going to support his 42-year-old handmaid, who is a sister, or whether he's going to have to support Rubenstein, who is a money maker for Sharpton and one of the shrewdest lawyers in New York City, especially when it comes to shaking down the city on race issues. I think Sharpton's going to go with Rubenstein. But the telling evidence, which I did not know on yesterday, what it appears that Rubenstein, they found some sex toys, and that, I guess what sex toy means, man, anyway, let's not go there. But I think that if he used a sex toy on her, and she was brutalized and is still bleeding, Rubenstein may be going up to Attica. He may be going away for a very long time. Because, and I think she was taken to the hospital, and the hospital rape kit says that she was still bleeding because he brutally, used that toy on her. So the kids didn't come home yet. Let me know, send me a note when the kids come home and I'll stop this story. But the deal is this, is that I'm convinced that we're going to find out more about Sharpton's shady dealings when this story breaks, because it appears now, if there was a sex toy involved, and the New York Post also and the Daily News are reporting that 10 condoms were found in the garbage. 10 condoms, this guy must be really busy. And if all of that, if any of the woman's DNA is on those, she said that she didn't consent. Now, yesterday I argued that if you go home with a man past 1 o'clock at night, it's 1 in the morning, everybody's been drinking at a party, you go home with him, that's consent. Well, it might be legally, technically, but socially, it's consent. The woman should say, no, it's too late, I've been drinking, and you've been drinking, well, why don't you go home and we'll talk to one another tomorrow, maybe we'll have lunch tomorrow at Starbucks or something like that, right? And they're also checking the video cameras going into, you say, Manny, why are you so detailed on this? Doggone, Manny. Because it's in New York, and you don't know about New York stories. And we're going to get to Sharpton in just a moment. So they're checking the cameras leading into Rubenstein's luxury apartment building on the east side in the Show Enough High Rent District, right? I mean, you're talking about 10, 20, $30 million apartments in that region, at least $30 million. Anyway, so they're checking the cameras to see when they walked in the building, what was the body language of Rubenstein and the 42-year-old handmaid of Al Sharpton. What was the body language? Did she appear to be coerced, or did she appear to be drunk? Did Rubenstein appear to be intimidated? What was the body language? And I think that all that's going to come out. So this looks like it's going to trial to me. On yesterday, I said, probably won't. But now this so-called sex toy is involved, and the woman seems to have been bleeding 36 hours after the event. Then this guy Rubenstein must be a monster. You know, and again, the New York Post is reporting that this guy's always after women. He's always got a string of women coming and going at his apartment. I guess he's not married. And he lives out in the Hamptons, got a house out in the Hamptons as well. The one thing about the article I thought was wrong is that it said he wears $1,000 suits. This guy would not put on a $1,000 suit. He wouldn't be caught dead in a suit that only costs $1,000. But I think that this goes to trial. And if it goes to trial, I guarantee you Sharpton gets caught up in the whole process. Going back to Sharpton, by the way, who held this birthday party, Sharpton is 60 years old. What are you having a birthday for? You're like you're 1 year old. Happy birthday to you, you idiot. Happy birthday to you, you slick-head shakedown artist. Happy birthday to... people have their 50th. When they turn 50 years old, the people want to have... when I turned 50, I didn't want to have a birthday. What do I want to have a birthday party for? I don't like birthday parties, first of all. 60 years old, he holds a birthday party, and he dares people, and he holds it on the same night. He knows New York politics. He knows how integral and important the Al Smith dinner is, that he holds it on the same night, causing politicians to leave the Al Smith dinner early to try to get to it because they don't want Sharpton to be angry with them. You know how Sharpton opened up his big mouth and started talking about him, and they don't want that. But I suspect, and I'm going to keep this story alive because I suspect that, and I don't have all the evidence, but I suspect we're going to hear something about Sharpton's involvement in this process. That what I think we're going to hear, and here's the punchline, what I think we're going to hear is that Sharpton told her to go home with Rubenstein. Now that's it. I said all of that for the last 15 minutes to say that. I think Sharpton told her, go home and make Rubenstein happy. And I think she's going to tell it. Because she didn't expect to meet these monster toys coming out of his closet. And I think she's insulted to the point where she feels that, and rightly so, that she's not only been raped, but been brutally raped. And I think she's going to tell it. And I think Sharpton's going to spend a whole lot of money and time and energy trying to keep the world from knowing that he told her to go home with Rubenstein and tuck him in bed. That's what Manning knows. Sharpton told this 42-year-old handmaid of his, go home and tuck the old man in bed. And when she did that, he dropped the Mickey Ficky on her. And now we've got this major explosive story. And trust me, I'm going to be reporting on this because this very well may be an opening to the end of Al Sharpton. Because there are a lot of people in New York don't like Sharpton, don't like Rubenstein. They're just afraid of him because they have such political clout and power. I mean, even Bill Clinton comes and kissed Al Sharpton ring. Hillary Clinton kissed his wingtip loafers. So I think this is, I'm convinced that Sharpton told that woman to go home with Rubenstein. Go home and make him happy. Because that's the kind of man he is. He's a dope dealer, he's a hustler, he's a pimp, he's a shakedown artist, and this whole thing is going to come back to him. And Rubenstein, on the other hand, is going to say, Sharpton, if you don't get this switch off of me, if you don't make her withdraw these cases, I'm going to tell all the stuff that you and I have done. This is going to get saucy right here in New York City. You listen to the Manning Report, everybody. I'm James David Manning. I ain't going to stop reporting this. I just don't want to do it when the children are at home.